Oh? Y'all about to cook? Together? Let's get it. What's up, guys? All Pencil here, and here we are to do a breakdown and review of chapter 122 of Four Nights of the which is known as The Washout. And this chapter, I'm not gonna lie. It may just be a top 20 chapter of mine. I know that's such a weird number, like not top 10, not top 5, not even top 15, top 20. Yeah. But I think it has a lot in it that I really, really like. So let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into it. Editing me. Ready. 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? I got a pencil here. Fun fact, I have it on me, and I keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, you see this form right here that Tristan's in on the beginning page? Yeah, you see that Nephilim hybrid form? Guess what? It doesn't debut at all in this entire chapter. You know what that means. You know exactly what that means. But let's actually hop into the chapter itself. Well, actually, before we hop into the chapter itself, this is a duo that I'm super duper happy that Nakaba's taking the time to explore more. If there is one thing I wish we could have gotten out of early Four Nights, I guess you could definitely argue we are still very much in early Four Nights. So maybe I'm spitting nonsense here, but I do wish we got to see a little bit of their journey. Maybe we'll get that in chapter 123, more of their flashbacks, more of their connections, but I really wish we could have seen Tristan's journey, especially considering it was a solo journey to go get Gawain. That would have been super interesting to see. And do I think we'll ever see it? I think we'll see glimpses of it at most, but even if we aren't going to see it, I'm glad that Nakaba's taking the time to flesh out this duo in particular. There are some other combinations that I'm just as interested to see more of. Obviously, I love Lance and Percy, but that's a combination we've gotten a whole bunch of. Literally a majority of the series at this point. I want to see more Tristan and Lance, the brothers from other mothers, you know what I'm talking about. I want to see Gawain and Percival more. I love that duo too. The zero brain cell duo. I love that with the Four Nights. Like, there's so many different combinations I want to see, but this honestly is the dynamic that pairs relative against the Lancelot and Percival dynamic. I really like that Nakaba's taking the time to explore it. Considering for the longest time I didn't think he was going to do it. So I'm happy we're doing it now. But of course, let's stop talking vaguely. Let's hop right into the chapter itself. So we open up and we do get to see that the Testament Beast, I finally looked up its name. The Testament Beast is strolling up, stomping up, chair walking. It's like, hey, you know what time it is. And we see that to the shock of Tristan, who was last chapter, he hears something. Though, admittedly, this seems to be a subconscious conversation despite Tristan's vocal verbalizations. Let's see. I gotta hit a deep voice that kind of represents multiple voices. Nephilim, open your eyes. Nephilim, open your eyes. What? Call for the Demon Lord. He may yet be able to stop us. Sorry, that voice is super duper breathy, but I have no idea how to, unless editing me is gonna have to retroactively go in and try and figure something out with that. I have no idea how to make my voice sound like multiple voices at once. But with that being the case, I do like this. This is a nice little hint at Big Papa Zeldris. If I had to have one complaint about the arc so far, especially considering this is hyped up to be the Demon World arc, and we spent the past, I'd say about, when did the Demon World arc start? We're on chapter 120, a solid chunk of the year, if not a majority of the year in this Demon World arc. The one issue I do have to have with it is the fact that we haven't gotten any Zeldris action. We've gotten good Zeldris characterization, good Zeldris panels, even good Zeldris development, even though it was mostly off screen. But him having very little action at all is kind of a little bit wonky to me. Like every other returning character of arguably, well, I guess you could technically argue Hauser and Zeldris are on similar levels, but every semi-major character from the previous series did have an action moment. Obviously, Mel did. Elizabeth didn't. I lied already. Elizabeth didn't. But if you're able to give it to Hauser, to Gother, heck, you nearly gave it to Bond, King, and Diane. You couldn't have given Zeldris something. But I do like how the faith in Zeldris is shown in his people. Like, what who what is revealed to be Schwartz's consciousness is begging Tristan to do, comes from a manner of faith in the new demon lord, in their new king, in Zeldris, that he could come and stop them. And I think that's nice. Once again, I will admit, it seems like Zeldris didn't do too much work to try and repair demon interspecies relationships. Once again, he grew up in a world full of biases, and while he's trying to be better than his father, he did spend, he's 252 by the time of the original series, so he did spend literally not even like 10 times, more than 10 times, probably like around 15 times his lifespan, listening to nothing but rhetoric from his father. And thusly, he probably cared also about the 10 Commandments too. So losing all of them to the 7 deadly sins and stuff like that, and his own indoctrination that took place over the course of multiple centuries, like, it makes sense that he doesn't immediately go back and repair all interspecies relationships. They were in a holy war 16 years ago, and considering how short 16 years is to a being that lives 1,000 years, I get why too much hasn't really happened in terms of societal progression. But I do like that the faith in his power, the main thing that demons respect and seemingly care about, once again based on the Demon King's indoctrination, is respected enough that his men, the Black Knights of Six, are willing to beg someone else to call for him in their time of need when they're being taken over. I think that's neat. I think it's nice, and it's a testament to how strong Zeldris is. Though admittedly, there's nothing that's really too insane. There's nothing that the Six Knights of Black on their own, or even fused into the Testament Beast, have really done that original series Zeldris couldn't do. So it's not too crazy, not a Testament, but still, I do like the faith that they have in them. And we do get to see that Tristan actually recognizes them. He's like, Schwartz, is that you? And we see that Schwartz is fighting it. And seemingly not just Schwartz, because notably this is Schwartz's face. It's his transformed face too. The Chaos Fusion seemingly brought out his full power. But we see even the tiger head on his chest is like it's losing his good mind. And he says, "We failed to protect Sir Percival, and now we've fallen for the human's trap. Hurry, I can't keep a hold of myself any longer." Which is very, very nice. That is a nice extension of the Chaos Staff. Notably, sorry, I gotta stay hydrated. Drink water. But notably, unless you watch unless you watch Grudge of Edinburgh, which I know some people just haven't, because some people didn't even know Part 2 came out. I didn't. I had to find that out by accident. But that was my fault. I just wasn't too tapped in on it. And I may review it. I probably won't. I don't really. I'll be real. It's nothing about that movie is getting me I gotta review it. But if you guys want me to review it, I will review it. But with that being the case, unless you watch that, this is the first time in 4 nights where a Chaos Staff has mind-bending implications. We know Chaos Magic itself does, Chaos Gallon and Chaos Molascula are specifically shown to be overridden by Chaos Magic. But their revived souls, revived likely through the power of Chaos, or enhanced by the power of Chaos in the case of Molascula. But this is the first time that we've seen completely organic, all natural occurring creatures merge together, falling to this sort of chaos hive mind, or this chaos mental control. And I think it's very, very interesting. Makes you wonder if we're ever going to see more powerful, more notable characters fuse together and have them. Ooh. Boy ran out of breath. Have them merge and go through this same struggle. I wonder. However, we do get to see that Tristan does not want to call for Uncle Zal. Because Nagova just doesn't want to draw him or something. I don't know, man. I'm just, give me my uncles. I get it. I get the narrative thing. We can't. I hate to say it, but Zeldris wasn't even that important in the original series. I know it's wild to say, Pencil, he was the vessel for the final antagonist. No, he wasn't. Remember, Kath was the final antagonist, which is I don't like that. But he was the vessel for the penultimate antagonist, the Demon King. So obviously Zal is important, but relatively, he wasn't even really main character status. So, I can understand why Nakaba's holding him back. Plus, this is the Four Knights story, so having a non-Four Knights entity come and solve all their problems, yeah, would be a little bit cheap. So I do understand where Nakaba's coming from here. We do get to see that when Tristan says, "Oh, I'll save you," the Schwartz Fusion, the Testament Beast, is like, "You can't. Your power would never stop us." And to be fair, Schwartz does have a point. Now, obviously, you can definitely argue Tristan did not go all out in the battle with Schwartz. Even when Schwartz transformed, he was very specifically limited to, at most, Nephilim form, I do believe. Bro didn't actually dive in that deep. But considering he didn't go further out and he lost that fight, I'm not entirely shocked that Schwartz is 100% convinced, like, yo, bro, I hate to tell this to you, dog, but you just ain't like that. You simply are not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Because, for all intents and purposes, Tristan really isn't. He's done nothing, especially to the rest of the Demon Clan, right? Because the Demon Clan, I'd say out of all the clans, is the one that, due to how it was raised, the environment they were born in, and how they were indoctrinated for literally their entire existence, the Demon Clan is the clan that, above all things, prioritizes raw fighting power. The way you get a demon's respect is by beating them or proving in one way or another that you're stronger than them. And unfortunately, Tristan failed the vibe check, so he does not get that same innate respect. Despite being a member of the royal family, despite being the nephew of the current demon lord and being the son of Meliodas, the strongest demon to ever exist, Schwartz sees that, hey, if you weren't able to beat me alone, how are you going to beat all six of us combined? And it's a good point. And we see that Tristan, he declares, "No, I'll do it. I'll show you I can." Now, I have a question for you. Do you think Tristan, A, activates Goddess Eyes, since that's a power that's super effective against demons, so thusly it should be able to cover for any gap in raw power? B, activates a Demon Mark, considering he knows that Lancelot is somewhere within the vicinity, and this is a, let's just say, break or be broken kind of scenario where all could go south if Tristan fumbles, and thusly he's going to use all the power he can get. C, go into a Nephilim state, whether it be with the slight darkness branching out of the eye or simply one dark eye, one golden goddess eye. Or option D, none of the above. Leave it 5 seconds. Leave your comment down below. Wait, which one do you think he did? Yeah, you know he ran in base, and he literally stays in base. Now, you gotta, like, I know the definition of insanity isn't actually trying the same thing over and over again and expecting something to change. I know it's not, but like, I don't even know, dog. Like, me personally, if I had access to so much raw power and I got schmacked, mollywopped by something that's built like this, built like Beast King Barbaros from Yu-Gi-Oh!, I just wouldn't let it slide. Me personally, it would just be beyond my biogenetic code to let that slide. I would need to run the hands at my full, or even not full power, right? Like, I get it. Once again, the main reason Tristan doesn't seem to transform at all in this chapter is because he's properly experiencing the identity crisis. You can tell he's had that identity crisis for a while now. You can even see that once again in Greater Edinburgh Part 1. But that anxiety crisis that seemed to be asleep for years has, it's returned in full force. And that's why Tristan's not transforming. Once again, he just doesn't know what he is. And like, to be fair, he knows exactly what he is. He is a Nephilim. He is a goddess, demon, human hybrid. But what that means for him, he doesn't yet understand. He doesn't understand that the power bestowed into him is something that he has full right to, full control over, no matter what other people say about him. And thusly, he can end up being manipulated and lose to characters named Schwartz, dog. I still can't get over him being named Schwartz. But with that being the case, we do get to see that Tristan naturally gets smacked back. Absolutely no problem at all. He lands, but then he sees that Estos and Mael, his two blades, were scattered to the wind. And we see that the Testament Beast is like, I'm. I hope you sword proof because this about to hurt. And reels back with a swing. Admittedly, not at all down like this, but more back like this. And we see that Tristan, once again, I mentioned that he didn't go into Nephilim form and he doesn't transform this entire chapter, but I'll admit, considering this should be like a completely rampaging Testament beast, it's very impressive that Tristan does what he does here. He flips away from the sword swing, grabs, and no, this is all mid-swing, by the way. As the sword is mid-swing, he backflips away from it, grabs his blades, and interlocks his blades in front of the gigantic blade, and then somewhat, seemingly enough, stops it with just his two little swords in base. Like, maybe I talk too much smack about base Tristan. Maybe he is just like that, undeniably and indubitably. Shout outs to my boy. However, we do get to see that while he is seemingly enough like that, he isn't exactly that much like that, as with immaculate form, by the way, like legit. Bro went, okay, I see we have a good win today. We're now about to see the Testament Beast go for a hole-in-one on the 9th hole. Are you ready? The swing back. Boom. A beautiful drive-through. And that's essentially what it looks like, because the Testament Beast just swings super duper hard and Tristan gets sent flying into the air. And once again, due to the identity crisis stuff, he kind of forgets that he has wings, and as the tiger head on the body of the Testament Beast starts to we do get to see that it fires off with a roar of flame. Now, I'm not sure if this is Purgatory Flame or not. This looks like regular flame, but the dark outlines on this make you want to say it's Purgatory Flame. But at the same time, there's this white inside, and I know Purgatory Flame, well, at least I know the other type of Purgatory Flame typically is darker than this. So I don't know, but it's some variation of fire. And we see that Tristan gets... I'm gonna go to sleep now. Again. Because my name is Tristan, and I don't have a complete grasp of who I am, because I'm likely literally the first of my kind due to the nature of our creatures and the necessity for human stabilization within the battle between light and darkness. Tristan could honestly be a Kingdom Hearts character. Loki, he would be wielding Oathkeeper in Oblivion. He would... If I were to translate his character over, he would literally be Roxas. But with that being the case, we do get to see that obviously Tristan Gang is heavily worried for Tristan as Isolde screams, "Prince Tristan, no!" We do get to see that the Testament Beast is like, hey, let me lower you real quick, dog. Yo, I'm feeling the gains right now, bro. You see these spikes coming out of my triceps, bro? I'm losing my good mind. I'm freaking. And unfortunately, Tristan just bounces away. And we cut away to... And I get it. You got smacked by poison. But, like... Oh, one hit? That's all it takes, and it's all it takes for you to be knocked. Then again, there does seem to be poison in that wound. And we see that Nazian says, "Engelad, don't try to force your body up. Here, let me take care of it." All right. With detoxification, I remove the poison. And we see Anne goes, "Oh, wow. Thank you." And she immediately knocks out afterwards. She passes out instantaneously. And we see that Nazian simply theorizes that, this is trouble. Let me level you real quick. It's got to be that damage, dog, because there ain't no way she got knocked out from anything else. And we see that Nazians realizes that all the knights that were being held down due to their fibbing nature, they're back up again, as he remembers Rule 5, it vanishes once I pass out, and bro gets straight into the back instead of the chest, and manages to get turned to stone. Now, I won't lie. The paranoia was kicking in here. I was like, wait. I was ready for Nazians to go, but I wasn't this ready. Don't take my son from me, please. And we do get to see that the one of the Knights of Camelot, who was revealed to be Vivette. Well, not revealed. We know her name was Vivette, but I will never remember all these randoms' names. And we see that she hit Nazians with petrification. And she mentions, boy, oh boy, the tables have turned, haven't they? And that is true. That is true. And went from kind of solo squatting in chapter 122. Not 222. Is it 222? No, it's 221. 122. Where was I getting the twos from? Your boy was. But with that being the case, she does actually manage to lock them down. And we do get to see that everyone, in one way or another, is practically cooked. Percy's currently fighting for his life within the duelist, like he's trying to beg, which hurts to think about. Probably trying to beg higher and I just want to say it. Do I say it? I'm not gonna say it. But we do get to see that everyone is knocked out, paralyzed, or on the verge of passing out. And we see that they question, close one, huh? What kind of magic was that in the first place? And we see that one of the other knights points out, I guess once that little bro... I guess it let up once that little girl fainted. So yeah, that's a pretty... I mean, to be fair though, outside of Gother, I can't really think of a single spell that like keeps working post consciousness. Like I'm trying to, yeah, I can't really think of one. However, with that being the case, we do get to see that with this magic being entirely unknown, Vivette is like, hey, it'd be like that when it'd be like that, especially when it'd be like that. They got their ankles broken, and now we got to break their ankles, you know what I'm talking about? And we see that Rosebank is like, wait, Livette. Did I say Vivette before? Livette, the battle is already over. You don't need to do this. Rosebank, let me level with you real quick, dog. You committed treason. Treason with a capital T, with the rest of the word being reason, dog. You're lucky they don't petrify you and throw you with the rest of them. You had Dragon Handle this entire time and didn't say a word. Dog, like, how to out yourself 101. Like, you don't even gotta ask who the imposter is. You know for a fact. Well, with that being the case, we do get to see that Rosebank does not, in fact, get charged for treason, but she does get charged for having a childish mind. As Vivette clearly says, don't give me that childish nonsense. These are our enemies. Leave them and they're bound to invade or impede Camelot again. And we see the Tommy ripoff real back, big old blade in hand, ready to dice the Donner's head, when suddenly he hears, Nani Deshkeskino? As a certain someone rises to greet us all. And she declares, stop! Don't lay a hand on my friends. Yo! Shout out to the character development, bro. Shout out to the character development, dog. What? Come on now, bro. Tell me that ain't some W character development right there. She went from saying, I'm alone, I'm worthless to these people, they hold no leverage over me and I hold no leverage over them, I'm not their friend, to the moment all of them are in danger, she's like, don't you lay a hand on them, my people. Yo, W character development. Yo, I gotta take a sip of that. It's water. Shout outs, dog. That's fantastic. I really, really like that. I like that Gawain is like, these are my homies. You do not touch the homies. I really like that. That's simple characterization. That's simple character development, but You don't have to get complicated with stuff like this. That's simple and sweet. Her heart was really changed by hearing everyone proclaim their care for her no matter what she's done to them. That's fantastic. And we see she finally does pop up, though that was admittedly hinted at the end of 121. And we see that another one of the knights, another one of the knights ends up asking, why? You're a conjurer with no magic now. You didn't forget that we have found your magic, did you? And without that, you could never outmuscle those stout demons. A little girl like you doesn't stand a chance. So that's interesting. They don't know. They know what she looks like, or at least Mortlock knows what she looks like well enough to recognize her in her small form. But it doesn't appear that any of the knights really know what's going on here. Interesting. So they don't know about her ability. The mystery of Gawain ever thickens with this chapter, as you'll see. Because we turn to the next page, and we do get to see that finally, after like 50 years, and I mean like 50 chapters, we finally get to see Gawain back. Yeah, all the gym rats out there. Who else trying to get like Gawain? It's me. I'm trying to get like Gawain. Well, at least in terms of the fitness. I don't think I ever want to be like that big or beefy, but like, dog, look at that gains. Look at that gains. But she says, little girl, don't be so absurd. And she just flexes straight out the magic cuffs, which does genuinely make me question like the viability of them. Like, you mean to tell me any halfway decent mixed attacker within 7 blazing can bust those bad boys? What's the point? Arthur, make them stronger next time. You should know. But we do get to see she's like, I wanted to wait until I had a full charge, but so be it. Now, a big thing that has been haunting my nightmares and plaguing my mind is the idea that Escanor passed his grace on organically, or Gawain received the grace organically. Because the reason I don't think that, the reason I think Merlin may end up being involved, is, how do I put this? Escanor, I mean, the charge thing is the weird thing, though. While Escanor had charge and fire, that was through Rita, and Mael never had any such sort of thing. So the fact that her sunshine is essentially able to be toggled on and off, big or small, that's very, very... I wonder what her variation of sunshine is like, and if it's actually even sunshine, or a similar vein to what Merlin did when she was making Gother's juicy, scrumdiddlyumptious life wiper for 10 miles, and ended up imbuing some of Mael's soul into it. So, I don't know, dog. Gawain, you all natural? Or something else come through them veins? Let me know. However, we do get to see that she says she wanted to fight with a full charge, but she clearly did not need it. As we see the knight's question, why is her body transforming like that? She's a threat. We have to take her down. And unfortunately, they do not take her down. They get taken down in, seemingly enough, one hit each, as Gawain casually rounds them all up and simply holds them over her head like she's Goku getting back from King Kai. And just, except the throw does not happen, because this isn't Goku getting back from King Kai, it's Goku getting back from Yardrat. As I guess the reference works. But we literally see Gawain, fist buried in these 4 knights, looking down on Rosebank. And admittedly, in a good act of kindness, Gawain is like, you may go. Thanks for trying to stop them. That's nice. That's nice. Even though more orange, they do... Well, yeah, I'm trying to think. I get it's an act of kindness, but I'm not sure if I would let her go. She's too much of a liability, but Gawain seems not to think so. And she teleports away. And we do cut back to the Nephilim versus the Commandment Beast. And it's Just not looking too hot. It's not looking too hot. As you can see, the commitment beast is taking pretty much no damage. None of his healing is even needed to be invoked yet. Meanwhile, Tristan is just like he is losing it right now. Bro is sweating buckets. And we do get to see that Tristan is starting to realize, oh, so this is it? I just can't beat you because I'm not like mom and dad? Kind of, sort of. You aren't using your full potential. And we see he says, because I'm not pure goddess clan or pure demon clan, because I'm washed out of both. And we see that Gawain, ever the optimist, comes in and says, what a coincidence. I am feeling just as much of a washout as you. What if I didn't know what you were, what you are? You can't reach the same potential of the others. With that being the case, that's fine, for we must accept ourselves, and as we accept ourselves, we must work our way to the top. So follow me and help me strike back against the heavens with our rising impact, and let's show them the spirit of a washout. So that is the end of the chapter. W chapter, once again, just good character dynamic stuff towards the end. Gawain and Tristan is a dynamic I'm very interested to see play out. Obviously, the return of buff Gawain is very, very interesting to me. I'm very interested to see where Narcoba takes this. Now that he's brought it back into the narrative after so long, the explanation behind it is going to be super duper interesting. Overall, this chapter just has a lot of good stuff in it. And I'm very excited to see what happens next. However, that's what I think. Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Whew, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave the Twilight Testament in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and make sure the notifications bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you have a Patreon down below, where you support as low as $1 a month to get these exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks include the live reaction to this very chapter. Now, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dagger the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a very big thank you to our $3 members, O'Connor Plays, Redwolf4765, and Herb Skills. I'd like to give another very big thank you to our $5 patrons, Sean, Redwolf4765, Midnight Gemlord, Kevin, and Demix LND. I'd like to give another beefy thank you to our $10 patrons, Robbie Uchiha and iDemokami. And I'd like to give a very, very hefty thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. I'd like to give another very big, scrumdiddlyumptious thank you to our two $25 patrons, Igneal and Calvin Elder.